Upon embarking on your second term as city council member, you had said that poverty was the city's most pressing issue at that particular point. And you had said that everything goes through the prism of poverty, from criminal justice to housing to education to homelessness to food. I'm just curious to know if you still view the city's issues through that kind of that formula, that mechanism, as you will.
Absolutely. All these issues are interconnected. I mean, we're doing this conversation, we're talking about small businesses, people not having the resources to start and grow a small business. That's why I did the public bank initiative. When you think about education, people are not able to buy homes or invest in their homes, which impact the real estate taxes, which go to our schools and also go to our city, as well as the gun violence issue, which ties into the ability of people to get a job, to small businesses. So all these issues are interconnected, and poverty is the through line that runs through all of these issues, not only the education and the affordable housing issues, as well as homelessness and a whole host of other issues. And we as a city need to be in a job creation business, but family sustaining jobs. And we're not doing that job. So poverty is all interconnected to this issue. And going forward for our city, we need a leader who understands that perspective. And that's why I'm running for mayor. I'm
assuming that you ran for the position because you saw something that was missing in the current leadership. And I'm wondering what it was that you saw that was missing that you thought you could bring differently.
The fact that we had back-to-back years of over 500 homicides, that hasn't happened in the city of Philadelphia in the past. The fact that we still have a 25% poverty rate, the fact that we have opportunities to bring in more resources to the city of Philadelphia, like the bipartisan infrastructure law that was passed that can allow us to make real capital investments in Philadelphia to make our city a better place and improve the quality of life. We have the Inflation Reduction Act that was done in DC as well. And I just don't see the leadership locally to address these issues. So when I say the challenges we've seen is about leadership, is about the fact we're not leading our citizens. And that's why when I made my announcement at Mike's Barbershop and I say Philadelphians should expect more and deserve better from our city, people say, yes, you're right. I should expect more and get a better return on my investment from taxes, which I'm not getting now under this administration.
I remember one of the big talking points was obviously, as we talked about already, but just the public safety, the gun violence issue that's arisen in the city. Before kind of going into specifics and exactly how we go about addressing it, just what do you think has gone wrong, and why are we experiencing such a high rate of violence compared to previous years?
We're often trying to do things when we actually had the tools right here if we understand what we've done in the past and use some of those best practices to move Philadelphia forward. And so those are some of the challenges when I talk about public safety and how we address those issues, bringing back things that have been effective in Philadelphia to make sure we reduce gun violence and never have another 500 or more homicides in our city.
And a lot of these sort of these violent acts, they're being committed by some of the younger people, some of the youth in the city here, and people talk about some of the disinvestments and certain rec centers and whatnot. But and I think and obviously leadership has brought up the fact that we could probably implement some sort of curfew system, and obviously some have said that it doesn't work. But kind of where do you stand on that?
Well, the ideas of the curfew centers are things that worked in other cities, and we'll see how we can continue to address that here in Philadelphia. But one of the big things that, once again, the things we used to have that we got rid of, and now people are talking about bringing back, are after-school programs. So we had a network of after-school programs and providers through working with Philadelphia Safe and Sound, which is no longer around, would help to manage and provide those opportunities for young people. For young people who don't have the opportunities to do things after school, that's when they're being mentored. Unfortunately, being mentored in the wrong direction as opposed to the right direction. When I talk about public safety and how we address those issues, and as someone who's been around a little while, I don't have as much hair as I used to be, but I do remember some of these great programs that previous administrations had, and bringing back some of those best ideas and not reinvent the wheel, not only here in Philadelphia, but from my experience and talking with mayors all around the country through my national leadership, bringing some of those best practices here to Philadelphia as well.